The real challenge around Brexit is, are we going to go into Brexit light or Brexit heavy? Brexit light would allow us to continue to trade in Europe the way we are today, and 12% of our revenue, £260 million, comes from the European Union. In terms of Brexit heavy, we would then set up a new insurance company in the new EU, and that clearly would take a little bit of money to do that and quite a lot of effort. But we think over time that Brexit is structural for Hiscox, i.e. new companies, rather than strategic. Are we committed to building a business in mainland Europe, which we are.
If there is a Brexit heavy scenario, as you point out, and sort of trying to build a scenario around it, the cost of initial operations is something investors would almost expect. Is there a long-term impact on strategically going after business in Europe? Do you have greater concerns about your ability to secure that business?
Not at all. Since 2008 and the great financial crisis, our European business has grown by a compound 8% per annum. So we have very small market shares. We specialize in SMEs, small businesses, and affluent individuals. And we have market shares of less than 1% in the core markets in France, Germany, Spain. And we think we'll still be able to go after that business in the future. So for us, it's structural, some dislocation costs, which will be one-off. But longer term, we're as committed to building a business in mainland Europe as we have been in the past.
Do you feel more encouraged by what you've heard out of Theresa May's new government, or do you still feel we're completely lacking any guidance as to exactly how this is going to work its way through over the next few years?
I think we've been told that Brexit means Brexit, but we still are no clearer about what Brexit means. That's why we're planning for two scenarios, Brexit light, Brexit heavy. And we think that we hope by the end of Q1 next year, we'll have a much clearer view of where we're going. But I think with the uncertainty, business would be foolish to just take one, say it's going to be X or it's going to be Y, because we don't know. But we think that certainly by the end of Q1 we will see the direction of travel, and then we'll be able to act on that. Certainly the uncertainty today is not diminishing our commitment to build a business either in the UK, where 25% of our revenues, or in the US, or in mainland Europe, where 75% of our revenues are already today. So from that point of view, we see it very much as a short-term impact, not a long-term impact.
So when you look at both of these scenarios for Brexit, are you looking at a potential regulatory silver lining here? Because I know the Hiscox chairman said in the run-up to the referendum vote, hinted that perhaps this could be an opportunity when it comes to regulatory burdens.
I think in terms of regulatory burdens, we'll wait and see how the PRA in the UK here responds. It is they led Solvency II in Europe. And I think that in a Brexit heavy scenario, they will continue to apply very similar rules here in the UK.